I feel it takes more than a hat and a jacket to make me look like Harrison Ford, though. We ain't
Yeah,
fooling anyone, you know.
It's time for this.
Ocean Drives films with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse.
It is time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, with the very latest from Eclipse Cinemas up there in Bundoran. We are so excited. One of the big summer releases this week. Tell us more. Indiana Jones himself.
Well, excited, didn't sum it up properly. As you might remember last week, that true form of excitement, like feeling like a kid again, because I wasn't just excited, I was anxious, I was worried, I was nervous, because I'm now an old fella. I've seen a lot of movies, Shamey, and I kind of go, it'll be all right, or it'll be rubbish. Nobody died, it's all fine. But there's a couple of things that still get me going, like a kid waiting for Christmas. One was when they redid the Star Wars movies, and the other one was Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford, my hero. Could he come back? And you go, I don't believe in this. Oh, they ruined childhood for me by remaking my movie. No, they didn't. You can still go back and watch the old movies. That's all true. But I love the cinema, Shamey. I love the cinema. And my favorite character is probably Indiana Jones. If it wasn't, it would have been Han Solo. So it's Harrison Ford all around. I went in to watch this movie on Monday going, just don't be rubbish. I nearly swore there for the first time in 10 years. Don't be rubbish. Please don't let us down. And then I watched Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Why don't you play the clip and I'll tell you what I thought afterwards.
Magic. But a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
Oh, there's betrayal already, and we're only 2 minutes into the trailer.
well, that's the way I was just thinking with that music. John Williams has done so much for the cinema of my youth. Star Wars, Jaws, this. You just hear the music, your blood starts pumping. So let's not beat around the bush. I had a really good time at this movie. I knew a few minutes in that I was really going to enjoy yourself. And it's about, the Dial of Destiny. Can you go back and change time? And here's the thing, they did, because my lasting memory of Indiana Jones was the disappointing Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. And you're going, oh man, that's the end of it. We're all old and we're all going to die. It's no fun anymore. Whereas now they've changed Destiny, and your lasting memory of the legacy ending in a high. They don't shy away from the fact Harrison Ford is older now and he's not as mobile as he was. Mind you, Harrison Ford 80 is like, me at 39, maybe. Like the man is still in shape, and they still have sort of action appropriate stuff in the way that Indiana Jones, and we said this off air, was always kind of hokum and shaky. That was the whole point. Steven Spielberg wanted to make a James Bond movie, and George Lucas says, I had a better idea. That's where Raiders of the Lost Ark came from. That they said, let's make a movie like we used to watch when we were kids. It was all adventure, a rugged hero. It was a bit far-fetched. There was a bit of supernatural stuff, and everyone wins in the end. Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory. And that's what it was all about. And that's what they embrace. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is well cast as his goddaughter, because you probably do need a bit of youth and vitality. She's funny. I really liked her, but she's far from the Fleabag character, because that sort of wickedness in her eye that makes her an entertaining person to spar off without it being kind of unage appropriate, love romance. That's what they would have done in the 80s, and it would have been rubbish. It's like Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. You go, no. This is much better. Who are the ultimate bad guys? The Nazis are back. I was about to use the phrase, great, the Nazis are back. But let's face it, I don't mean it that way. I'm not talking about Donald Trump. But what I mean is in the way of such, it's good versus evil. It's hokum. It's fun. It's silly. One thing I would like to mention, I realize I haven't let you get a word in because I'm so excited about this, Jamie, is there is a bit of supernatural stuff at the end. And I saw one fella, he actually writes about Man United in a Manchester paper, said, oh yeah, I thought it was a bit silly. And I was going, do you remember at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark where the angels come down and melt the faces, or the voodoo in the second one, or the knight who has lived forever with the Holy Grail? There's always a bit of that. So when something like that happens, just go with it, fall into it and embrace it. It's funny, it's charming. It's pretty much just one endless chase scene, which ain't the worst thing in the world, right? That's good fun. And what really surprised me, it's quite poignant. I know you think about us at the best of times, but there may have been tears twice.
You're joking.
No,
you didn't, did you?
There's some proper acting in around the movie star silly matinee idol acting. We get a couple of cameos. We get really thoughtful stuff, and all the other stuff like the map, the old fashioned map flying across. All the it hits all the pleasure points. Do you know what it reminded me of, Shamey? So I watched, like a lot of people, I watched Glastonbury at the weekend, right?
Yes,
and
fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, Elton John hit it out. Now, there is no doubt, if you saw Elton John in his prime in the 1970s, when he's the biggest star in the world, he hit the notes a little bit better. Maybe, his songs were a bit rockier. There's less of the sort of maybe sentimental stuff that not everyone loves. Maybe he was better. But what a way to bow out. Wasn't he brilliant? Yeah. He did what the fans wanted and they loved it. I think this movie is Elton John at Glastonbury. Okay, maybe it's not Raiders of the Lost Ark, just like it's not Yankee Stadium in 1978. Well,
it's never going to be that. It's
never going to be that.
We're not expecting that.
Yeah, but if you can get on the highlights and go, here's one for the fans. Here's one to leave you with a smile on your face and leave you wanting more, but happy with what you got, which is a lovely way to end it.
That's hard done. That is hard done, though.
Yeah, leave at the top. Remember me the way I am. And I really enjoyed that. I think, Shamey, you're going to love it. It'd be really interesting to see if it works in the same way for like a 15-year-old now. Yeah. Rather than people who were 15 when the first ones came out.
But most kids would have seen the other movies now.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I was telling you, it was on TV. I was flicking around and it was on. One of them was on last night. So.
But it was the one we don't talk about. Yeah. But even at that, I think just family adventure. My sister, who, I'm always offering to get her free tickets and stuff, cannot drag her to the cinema is going, I think I'm going to go and see this one. I think people will have a great time. It's talk about your adventure, popcorn, sit back in the chair and just let the fun roll over you. This is Hollywood escapism at its best. Fortune and glory, Shamey. Fortune and glory.
Yeah, but this is made for the cinema, folks. You want to see this in the cinema. You don't want to be watching this on a phone or telly at home.
Waste of time. Because it's old-fashioned. It's made to be cinematic. That's all the travel, the exotic locations, even the CGI works fine well in the cinema. The whole point is everything about it is big. Yeah.
Yeah, it is big. It's big. Now you got something different for us. This one, I presume, is for the kids. DreamWorks are back.
Yeah, I watched this one today, and again, it's a really pleasant surprise. This is a really fun movie called Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence. This has come out a month after Little Mermaid, and it's about this girl who's from a family of kraken, the sea monsters, but they're hiding on land, trying to pretend to be humans because to stay away from the water is dangerous, particularly their evil nemesis, mermaids. Mermaids are vain, red-haired, bad creatures. This is done very funnily. The mermaid is voiced by Annie Murphy, who lots of people will know from Schitt's Creek, and she plays Alexa, and she's very funny as kind of vain narcissist. But this is a cute little kids movie.
Narcissist.
Yeah,
I know. But kids movie here,
yeah, is anyone? But it's showing that up. Whereas Ruby's kind of not sure where she fits in. It's very funny. Like the tourist bus stops and people are going, "Is that kid blue?" And she's going, "I'm from Canada." And I was just thinking, in America, they'd probably go with that. To be fair, but there's lots of little subtle in jokes like that. it's about, one of these where find out who you really are. Good for the kids, good message, but the parents will laugh at it. And here's the thing, surprisingly banging soundtrack with like Florence and the Machine and Yeah Yeah Yeahs and all that sort of stuff. And I thought this was a lovely experience. And here's the magic words for a kids movie. Hour 22, Seamie. An hour and 22 minutes. People are going to really enjoy it. It might be the best kids movie they get this year. I'm not sure they love it quite as much as Super Mario's, but it's a really positive family experience.
So it's that age group, is it? What age are you putting it?
I would say sort of like 7 to about 10, 11. I think you're made up. That's the aim. But the parents will really enjoy this one too. This is one of the nice ones that you go to and go, this is funny. It looks good. It's funny. It's fast and it's entertaining, but it's just such a positive message.
Okay. And that's opening today.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Indiana Jones is open already. That opens tomorrow. It's going to be a big kid summer hit, and we've got Elemental next week, so the families are going to be well looked after for the next couple of weeks.
Fair indeed. Misted Monday, I thought it was a misprint. It's not a misprint. No. Have you shares in Colleen June?
Yeah, it's coming back again. Well, as it happened, there was a group had asked for it to see if they could see it again because they'd read about it. They hadn't got a chance to see it at the time. So we thought, let's put it on again on the Monday because there's such a good interest. Did you see that the directors just got invited to be permanent members of the Academy Awards, which is another great step for the Irish. So we're showing it again because there's always such an interest. And it's brilliant to see people who support Irish art like that. They're interested in seeing it in the cinema so they can support it properly.
Yeah, there he goes. And you want to see his outfit, folks. Check him out on video later. I like the hat. Okay, that's Collie on Movies. Enjoy the movies, Collie.
Bye.